Greetings fellow guitar travellers and itinerant musicians everywhere, it's Rowan J. Parker back to fill your head with more scale construction nonsense. I know that when you woke up this morning you thought, that's just what I want to do with my life. Well, that's what I wake up thinking anyway, but then that's because I have no life. Well, so to compensate for the fact that I have no life, what I do have is a website, which is www.rowanjparker.com, which you should definitely go and visit because there's a whole ton of free resources on that site, and there's a store where you can buy things. You can buy books and videos and a whole ton of my educational resources. Otherwise, if you don't want to do that, there's my YouTube channel, which has got, I think, it's about 400 videos now and all sorts of stuff from theory, like you're watching just now, to crazy shred, and also lots of jazz fusion stuff, like that. But if you don't want to do that either, then you can support my struggling efforts by throwing me some money on Patreon. You can donate to me on Patreon. It's Rowan J. Parker on Patreon, and you can throw me £1 or $1 a month or whatever you think you can afford, and then I'll just keep this torrent of free goodness just endlessly flowing your direction. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Right, so today's lesson comes out of something that I was asked on one of the other videos, which was about the minor scales, right? So I thought I'd do a little video on minor scale construction, and really there are three commonly used minor scales, what's called the diatonic minor scales, leaving the modes aside for a moment. And they are the natural minor scale, the harmonic minor scale, and the melodic minor scale. So we're going to look at each of these scales in turn and see how they're constructed and explain to you the difference between them. Alright, so let's get on with it. Now this is another, as you might imagine, pen and paper effort. So you need to grab your sword of Damocles, your pen and your papyri, your writing surface, and get ready to write. Okay, so let's start with the natural minor scale. Now I'm going to construct all of these scales upon the note of A because it's minimal sharps and flats and therefore a bit easier to understand. So now, natural minor. First of all, the natural minor scale has got some other names as well, which we better just learn about, just for completeness, so we know what we're actually talking about. Or if someone uses different names to describe the scale, we won't be utterly confused. Right, so as well as being called natural minor, it also has a modal name, which is called Aeolian. So the Aeolian mode is exactly the same as the natural minor scale. And it also has another name, which is called pure minor. Now, I'm from Glasgow, and that doesn't mean to say, someone says, oh, can you play that pure minor scale, man? It doesn't mean pure in that sense. It doesn't mean like, this is an extremely minor scale, you know. No, it means, or it's used as a word to differentiate it between the natural minor scale and the Dorian mode, because normally in a jazz situation or a fusion situation, if you're playing over minor seventh chords, normally you would play Dorian mode over those chords. And if you're not supposed to, then often they'll indicate what scale you should use by just saying pure, the word pure, and that's to indicate that it's actually, for instance, an Aeolian scale and not the Dorian scale. You see this use of nomenclature quite often in Jamie Abersole play-alongs, where they use the word pure to describe natural minor. So if you come across it, don't be confused. It's not some JK Glaswegian way of saying it's very minor, it's just to say it's a natural minor or Aeolian. Alright, so A Aeolian contains what notes? Well, it contains these notes. It contains A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. It's actually directly derived from the C major scale, as you can probably tell. It's mode 6 of C major. Right now, so construction then. So construction for natural minor, 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, and 1. So as we discussed in the last video about modal construction, it's actually a very minor sounding mode indeed. Flat 3, flat 6, flat 7, pretty dark. Ideal for the old heavy rockage. Alright, so we can use this formula to construct the notes from any other scale, any other minor scale, provided we know what the notes in that major scale actually are. So let me just do this for you very quickly. Let's say we're looking at, we don't want A minor, but we want C minor instead, C natural minor. So what we need to do is we need to take the notes of C major, then plug in the construction formula, and then we'll get C minor. It's like an adaptive way of looking at the scale. So for instance, C major is C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. If we apply the construction formula 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1 to those notes, we will get C, D, E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, and C. So that's how you can apply it to any other minor scale. If you want the notes in any other minor scale, just find out what that major scale contains and then apply the construction formula to it and you'll get the answer. I hope that was clear enough. Okay, so that's natural minor. What about harmonic minor? Harmonic minor, right? So there's obviously a difference in construction between natural minor and harmonic minor. And let's look at what that difference is. The difference in the construction of natural minor and harmonic minor is that harmonic minor contains the interval of a major 7 or regular 7 and not a flattened 7th or minor 7th as in natural minor. So that makes the construction formula, I think we'll do the construction formula first this time, 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, 7 and 1. And then if we plug it into our A minor, we'll get A, B, C, D, E, F, and then because we had a G natural in the last scale in natural minor and that was a flattened 7th interval, we need to raise that note a semitone, 1 fret, and make it G sharp. Okay, so A harmonic minor is A, B, C, D, E, F, G sharp, and A. So the interesting thing about harmonic minor is the interval between the flattened 6th degree and the 7th degree, because it's the interval of a minor third, or actually an augmented second is more accurate. The augmented second, it's 3 semitones, and that's what gives harmonic minor its distinctive sort of angular, you know, Egyptian, Arabic, exotic sort of classical sound, however, whatever pejorative you want to use to describe harmonic minor, that's the reason it sounds like that. It's because of the interval, the augmented second between the flat 6th and the major 7th. Okay, and let's just for completeness do it for C. So if it was C harmonic minor, we would just be taking the notes of our C major scale, then plugging in the construction formula once again. So we'd have 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, 7 and 1. So we'd have C, D, E flat, F, G, A flat, B and C. That'd be C harmonic minor. Okay, and now melodic minor. A little digression here. Melodic minor is also sometimes known as jazz minor, though there is, strictly speaking, a difference between these two scales, which I'll attempt to explain. But usually, in contemporary settings, melodic minor and jazz minor are the same thing. The actual difference between traditional melodic minor and jazz minor is this. In traditional melodic minor, the scale had one form ascending but another form descending, whereas in jazz minor, the formula is just the same both directions. So if you've ever done any classical guitar, like I have at one point, it's a bit odd because you play the scale one way going up and then a different set of notes going down. That's just the way it is. I'll try and outline that a bit more clearly, I think. Alright, so let's talk about what we might call ascending melodic minor, or the jazz minor form of the scale. What's the difference between harmonic minor and melodic minor? Well, construction is 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 1. So one of the ways you could think about an ascending melodic minor is that it's just like a major scale with a flattened third. I mean, certainly that's true intervallically. You take a major scale, you flatten the third, you get the construction formula for melodic minor. There's a reason that's not a particularly great way of thinking about the scale, is because harmonically and functionally the major scale and the melodic minor scale are completely different. They're about as far apart harmonically as you can imagine. They're definitely, you know, not only are they not two peas in the same pod, they're not even the same sort of vegetable, man. Well, one of them's a tomato and one of them's a cucumber. In fact, one of them is a giraffe and the other one is the Empire State Building. They're just completely different things, which is why I don't like to conflate the major scale and the melodic minor scale, even though they are very similar in terms of construction. Alright, so let's do A melodic minor then. So you get A, B, C, D, E. Now it's a interval of a major 6 or regular 6, so we have to raise that F up, F to F sharp, and we still have the major 7th or regular 7, so we still have G sharp. So A melodic minor, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, and A. Okay, right now, so I said to you I'll try and explain to you the difference between jazz minor and traditional melodic minor. The difference is this, that in jazz minor it's very simple, the scale is just the same in both directions. So ascending it's A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, and descending it's A, G sharp, F sharp, E, D, C, B and A. It's the same both directions, right? Now weirdly, in traditional classical music, melodic minor, the ascending form is, as we've described it, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, but the descending form is like natural minor going down. So the descending form is A, G, F, E, D, C, B, A. And look who's come to join me. It's one of my cats who's just jumped up here and looks like he wants fed. So I might just have to pause this video and come back in a minute. Let's just see if we can finish it without him jumping all over me, or he might get the bonus of seeing my lovely cat. Okay, after that bout of catus interruptus, I'm back. This is the perils of recording video in one's own home. All right, especially when there's hungry felines around. So we were looking at the construction of melodic minor, traditional construction of melodic minor, and we were seeing that it is different ascending and descending. So let me give you a formula ascending and then how it's different descending. Ascending formula for melodic minor, traditional melodic minor, 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 1. However, descending 1, flat 7, flat 6, 5, 4, flat 3, 2 and 1. So it's like a natural minor scale on the descent. Now, I could go into the reasons for this, but I really can't be bothered. It's all to do with melodic contour and what was considered to be, you know, pleasantly sounding, melodically flowing scale, etc, etc. It's just far too tedious to get into, so I'll leave the tedium for another video. You'll enjoy that. So the version of melodic minor, or the form of melodic minor that we most commonly use today in contemporary music, jazz and fusion and the like, is jazz minor, which means it's the same both directions, so we don't need to worry about this flattening the 6th and 7th on the way down. It's just the same straight up and down, and mostly used to play over all those spiky altered dominant chords. So if you see all those dominant chords with the funny numbers after them, like sharp 5, flat 9, E7, sharp 5, flat 9, oh my god, what am I going to play over that? The answer is, yeah, it's a melodic minor of some kind usually. Okay, so that's it for this lesson, I think. Just to recap, natural minor, harmonic minor, melodic minor, natural minor, 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7 and 1, harmonic minor, 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, 7 and 1, and melodic minor is the easiest to remember, 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 1. Hurrah! Okay, made it through this one. Hope you enjoyed that, hope you found it useful. And I'll see you next time for another of these concoctions. I think my next subject is going to be, why is the major scale so terrible? Why does the major scale suck? Because it really does. We'll go into the reasons why it sucks on the next lesson. Alright, till then, it's been Round J Parker. I'll see you for another episode of Music Theory. Till then, farewell chaps. Bye bye.